Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is just saying, and this is for educational purposes only.
I'm reminded that the question that keeps being asked around the world that has to do with prisons here in the United States is this simple question. Why do the United States imprison so many more people as a percentage of its population than almost any other country in the world? And she gave us the answer because it's not about criminality. It's about controlling a part of the population. You pretend that they are criminals so you can put them in under the heading of criminal. But if you're trying to solve a social problem by putting people away out of the community in an enclosed space, and you can call it criminal, then you get the weird statistic that your numbers are off the chart relative to everybody else. And I have to tell you, because in large part the people in most other countries do not allow such a thing to happen. And as Americans, you ought to ask yourself, as I do, what is it about our country that allows such a thing to happen and to be perpetuated and to produce? You all know, and I don't want to digress, it costs much more per year to put a person in jail than to give them a decent job and an income. It is outrageously inefficient to do this. We may have a department of governmental efficiency, but it didn't do anything about one of the grossest inefficiencies that this government has ever perpetrated on people. And if you can see the fakery of calling it all drug related, it's the same thing. The story I told some of you before we went on the official program about those 76 people that have been executed by the United States because they were on a narco boat in the Caribbean or the Pacific over the last 3 months. Those are also being called criminals, being involved in the drug trade. That's what put all those people in jail, being involved in the drug trade. I went to school in the fanciest schools this country has. I was an undergraduate at Harvard, then I got a master's degree at Stanford, and I finished by getting 2 more masters and a PhD at Yale. I'm like a joke. And here's what I want to tell you. Every drug you ever heard of was always available in every room of those institutions that I ever visited.
Facts.
And who got arrested? Nobody. Who got invaded by the cops?
Nobody.
Never happened. Which person of the young people there was worried that their drug activity would get them into trouble? None of them. This is a social issue, not a chemical issue. Okay, I want to talk to you about this problem of affordability. It's a big, long, fancy word. Uh, don't be misled by it. It simply means what you suspect it means. We got a problem in that a lot of the things we need and want, we can't afford to get. Nor if we get one of them, we have to forego another one of them.
Facts.
It's been around a very long time. Not a new problem, not at all. But for a long time in the United States, roughly the last century until recently, mechanisms were found in the United States to give a large number of people an escape hatch, to give them a little extra money so that they could afford many things, more than their parents had been able to afford, and that was a sign that was important. For 100 years, the period is known historically, and it will be looked back on in the years ahead,
Facts.
as the period of the American Empire.
This is for
When the United
educational
States
purposes
became a
only.
global power, that was not always true. For most of the history of this
This is
country,
just
was not
saying.
true. Remember how it began? I don't mean began with the people, the indigenous folks that were here. We
Facts.
all know the genocide that removed them.
Right.
Now, if I look at the Europeans,
If you don't, you will know.
they were poor in most cases.
They were made
They were
poor.
criminals back home, running away. People in awkward circumstances, which is what the phrase is in German. And they came here, and they had a fairly hard scrabble life. They were given land that had been taken away from the indigenous people and so forth.
Facts.
You know the story.
If you don't, please
But it was
learn.
only really World War II. So, now a lot of American history from the time of the Independence War of 1776 to World War II, 1942, that's a long time. We were not an empire then. We
1776,
had been a
when
colony of
a
somebody
group of
else's
people
empire.
formed.
Remember? The British.
1776,
They had a big empire too. What's left
Illuminati
of
was
that?
born.
Nothing.
I believe it was going on
You know
before
what
then,
England
but there
is
was
now?
a knowledge in
A poor,
1776.
wet, cold island off of the mainland of Europe. That's what it is. It's one of the few countries of the Western world that's in worse shape than we are. Much worse.
Facts.
It is really serious what has happened to the empire once referred to as the sun never sets on the British Empire. Why? Because Britain has so many properties in Asia, Africa, Latin America, that literally as the sun goes around, as we go around the sun, there's always sunlight somewhere on what Britain owns. Now it's almost correct to say that the sun never shines on Britain. That's how far it's come. And before you laugh too much, that's what's happening to us. Now, you are living through it. I am living through it. I'm going to go through some details, but I don't want you to lose the big picture that I'll come back to at the end. The big picture is the empire is over. From 1945 to 2010, 2015, we were the top dog. All the other big, powerful capitalist countries and the socialist countries had blown themselves to bits in World War II. Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, China, boom. They destroyed one another, led by the old European empires. Hitler's slogan, Das Dritte Reich in German. My mother was born in Berlin. My first language is German. So I speak
Go
that
back and do
language,
your
still do.
history, people. They telling the truth. The
Hitler
system have
promised
already
das
been,
Dritte Reich
it's been
means
rigged
the
against
Third
us a very
Empire.
long time.
He
And
was
it's time to
gonna
come together and
make
fight against it.
Germany an empire again.
But better yet, I believe we need
A
to
kind
just
of
build our
MAGA
own. Build
forerunner.
our own.
In more ways than one.
Quit playing this game with these
And to
people.
do that, he invaded the Soviet Union. And that begins World War II. And they destroyed each other. The British, the French, the Germans, the Italians.
Let's stop
They still
history
haven't
from
recovered.
repeating itself. Let's build our own. Let's stand together.
Immediately at the end of the war,
Like,
the
comment,
colonial
subscribe.
people
This is
around
just
the
saying,
world realized this is our chance.
this some powerful stuff, y'all.
They're weak. They destroyed each other. We can get independence, led by